To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So as you can see, we had another snow event yesterday. It's awesome. It's pretty cold today. Woke up this morning with temperatures at 9 degrees. As you know, I've put a water tank outside my house, and I have put a plywood box around it. So here's the bridge. This is the bridge I built that goes from the roadside to the porch. And then over there is the box. So inside that box is a water tank, 275 gallon water tank. We pump it into the house using an RV pump. I've said this a lot. We try to keep it warm. We insulate the box. We try to keep it warm by using a fan to bring the house temperature into the box. The box temperature at the top of the box is probably 50 degrees on a regular winter day. And at the bottom of the box, the temperature has been very consistently around 37 degrees, 38, maybe 40 degrees. I don't really pay attention too much at the level above, where the tank is. But down there where the pump is, I've been paying a lot of attention to, because I've been worried my pump would freeze. So yesterday, in yesterday's video, I showed you that I went ahead and filled the tank. It was about half full, a little more than half full. I filled it up with the well, and the well temperature is about 65 degrees. If we assumed that the water tank temperature was 40 degrees and the well temperature was 60 degrees, we can assume the water temperature after I filled it was about 50 degrees. But still, again, at the ground level, it was right around 37 degrees. It held steady all day yesterday. Well, then last night, the temperature started dropping. We got down in the 20s, and the tank temperature down at the bottom started dropping. So you may be hearing the moan in the background. That is the water pump kicking on right now it's kicking on every 26 seconds. We survived it, 9 degrees. We have running water. Now this is really incredible to me. I lived in a house, I owned a house, and the plumbing, it was an old house, and the plumbing wasn't well designed. And when it would get down to about 12 degrees every year, the plumbing would freeze. I did everything I could to prevent it. I tried to insulate it, I put heat tape around it. We lived there for 10 years, and I think by the 10th year, I finally got it to not freeze anymore. What I find so incredible is I designed a system right out of the gate that worked. Right now, the box temperature at the ground level is 8 degrees. Yep. So it's actually below freezing at the pump. That's where the thermometer is at the pump. So last night I asked Carolyn, there was two options. Shut the pump off, guaranteeing that the pump would freeze, but there may not be any damage to the pump. Of course, it could have froze, expanded the water, and busted the pump. So, guaranteeing it was going to freeze, and it may bust the pump. Or, let the pump run, and maybe the pump would freeze. It probably wouldn't, is what I was thinking, but it could, because you got all this warm 50-degree water going through it every 26 seconds. But if it froze, it was guaranteed the pump would go bad. I'd burn up the motor. So I decided to go ahead and run the pump last night, and it worked. We survived it, 9 degrees. Now, I know what a lot of people are probably thinking, why didn't I just take the pump off, let it drain so it wouldn't freeze? If I do that, then I'm guaranteed it was going to freeze. If I open the tank up, all that cold air is going to get in there, and then I got to reheat it. Besides that, I needed to learn if we could actually do it. If we can't do it, then I had to figure out something else. I have a spare pump. That was a discussion I had with Carolyn last night, is we have a spare pump. If it freezes, I can replace the pump, and then we just figure something else out. But now, here's the important thing to remember. If it had froze last night, it wouldn't have been my fault. It would have been Carolyn's fault. It would have been your fault. It would have been YouTube's fault. It would have been everybody else's fault but my fault, because it can't be my fault, right? Oh, don't forget about the manufacturer of the pump. And water itself, and of course we got the environment, so everybody else would have been at fault, right? No. This is the thing I keep trying to express, and I just watched a video today, and it just blows me away. He is not successful. He's very upset about his non-success. And so, whose fault it is? everybody else's. I just couldn't believe how incredibly narcissistic he sounds. I'm the genius. It's these idiots that are successful. It's their fault, not me. It was just amazing. But so what I would have done is I would have taken responsibility for the failure and I would have addressed it. I want long-term solutions. So when Carolyn decides that she wants to take a shower, she's got water. Or if she wants to do laundry, she's got water. My goal in this little tiny house that's off-grid is that Carolyn has the conveniences of a non-off-grid house. I'm always asking her. I wish she would get on camera because then she can confirm. I ask her at least once a day, are you happy? Are you comfortable? Everything working the way you think it should work? Is there anything I can change, fix, do better? I want to take responsibility for this. I want to do better. Now, I know I talked about this again yesterday also, but the firewood, after searching long and hard in the firewood that we have already cut, this stuff seems to be working pretty good for daytime use. This is a firewood that I cut down in the city park. There was a tree that fell down last spring. It was huge, it was massive. And there was branches on there the size of regular trees. That's how big it was. So what you're seeing in here is just a branch. This stuff I cut in August. And for whatever reason, maybe because the tree had fallen down, it was already dead, I don't know. Typically, that's not a true statement. Typically, a dead tree does not mean it's drying out very fast. But this is at 24%. Now, the stove needs 20%. But after digging into Google as far as I could dig, I found out that you can use wood that is 25% max. It doesn't burn the greatest. It's not like 20% or less, but it does work. And I've been pretty satisfied with this. Now, I'm not using this stuff for nighttime use. I got some other stuff that's like 22% that gets me through the night. I'm excited that we're going to get through this really cold spell with lots of comfort, modern conveniences. So as you know, this year, our off-grid lifestyle focus is going to be food development. Chickens, eggs, garden, maybe some goats, maybe butcher a pig. Like I said, I just made a video where I cured some pork. These are the kind of things we're going to really be looking at this year and trying to really develop. Now, we did have some troubles with our garden last year. We know that we had too much shaded area. We knew it then when we planted it. So I've cleared some area out, hoping that we can get more sunlight down in our garden area. So Carolyn has already started her seeds. Here it is like February 4th, I think. And she started her seeds a few days ago. Trying to recycle as much material as we can recycle, anything we can do so we don't have to go buy things is our big goal. So Carolyn has made some seed planters out of toilet paper rolls. And these things are pretty cool because what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to put this right in the ground and the toilet paper roll is going to disintegrate. You don't have to take the plant out or anything. It's just going to pop right through it, just like those that you buy at the store. These aren't hard to make. She made them. And really what the process is just like a box that you just kind of fold in the bottom with the 4 flaps coming in. As I think you already know, this channel isn't here to teach you how to live off-grid. As you know, Carolyn and I are trying to learn a lot of this stuff as we go along. I mean, we've done some of the things. We've raised chickens before, but I've never built a tiny house. Never. I had to learn it as I went along. I built it all by myself, and I was showing you how to be inspired to do something that you dream to do. That's what this channel is about, inspiration, not advice. It's not about living off-grid. It has the overtones of off-grid because that's our life. Our life is living off-grid. But it's about our dream. That's what this channel is about our dream, living off-grid in a tiny house. And I feel like every day is a bigger success than the last because we continue to push ourselves and dream bigger. And now we're going to have chickens here in a few days. Once they are delivered, I woke up this morning and I was thinking, hey, the chickens might show up today. And then I realized it was Sunday. I'm always excited about the next day, what the next day is going to bring, what we can do, how can we overcome challenges. And that's what I'm trying to show you, is that anything is possible when you stop saying you can't do it and when you stop blaming everybody else. I mean, this person that I watched on YouTube today, pathetic. It is pathetic to watch him. A grown man sitting here just all depressed and whiny and complaining that he can't do the things he wants to do because it's everybody else's fault. And then what is he does? He attacks them. He attacks their success. He finds something to attack. What I'm trying to express here is I want you to look at yourself and say, it's not their fault. I made a video about this just the other day. It's not their fault. The only reason you are not doing what you want to do, and the only reason you are not successful at doing what you want to do, it's you. Look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I want to do this, and I am going to overcome all the obstacles, and I am going to put away the thought that it's anybody else's fault. It's not. Nobody is responsible for you. I hope I can inspire you to look at yourself in the mirror and achieve your dreams. Thanks for watching.